Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. What up, Fight World? It's your boy, Ego, for the Vampire Stream. The Vampire Stream. YouTube playing with the notifications. I've been traveling. Those Ego videos make the trip a whole lot easier on the Vampire Stream. Ooh, we feeling good for the Vampire Stream. Smash the fucking like button. The Vampire Stream. I make this look good. Ooh, we gotta talk about it on the Vampire Stream. Smash the like button. The real is back. The real is back. The gorilla is back. Oh my gosh. The Vampire Stream. We want old media's blood. I need my serum. Listen. It's looking bad for old media. I told y'all. This shit is easy. I could work at this pace easily. I could take it up a notch if I want. I work at my pace. They can't keep up. We getting super chats. Y'all hit me on Cash App, PayPal, leaving comments, likes on the Vampire Stream. Shout out to James Souza, new media man down. Let's get it. We need Mike Tyson up in this bitch. Man, listen, I don't know what else I got to do this year to impress y'all. Like, listen to the information that comes from my channel. I be dolo. I be solo bolo. I be dolo. Giving y'all that boxing fix. You know, pat yourself on the back if you've been an Ego's Army member for quite some time. You've been rocking with the movement. Daywalker. All of their strengths. None of their weaknesses. On the Vampire Stream. Yeah. Let's talk about it. The Vampire Stream. Listen. So what's being said is Canelo Alvarez, he might get stripped of the IBF title that he just won fighting Daniel Jacobs. What do you mean what happened? I just told you. Canelo Alvarez, he had one belt away from being undisputed until the WBC made him the franchise champion. Now he's 2 belts away. Now he might get stripped of the IBF title on the Vampire Stream. It's looking bad. It's looking shaky, bro. So basically, Sergey Derevyanchenko is still the number 1 mandatory for the IBF. Canelo is supposed to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko. If not, goes to purse bid. Or if Canelo refuses to fight him, then he gets stripped. Shout out to Boxingego 707 in here. Man, 707, say it backwards. Y'all know what it is. It's that bass shit. We don't play shit. So, it's the walls are closing in. All these movements and, all this, like, trying to carefully map out where you want to be and all this dumb shit. The walls are closing in. There's a lot of pressure. Okay, so DAZN wants what they want. Canelo has his own mindset, like, and I think his mindset. I don't think he's trying to fight Golovkin. The zone wants him to fight Golovkin because they think that's gonna get them out the red. The fans want what they want. You know, the WBC made Canelo the franchise champion. Golovkin just fought Steve Rolls. Now they're talking about he might have to fight or he might fight Jaime Munguia, or if Canelo refuses to fight Derevyanchenko, he gets stripped, and then Golovkin would be in line to fight Derevyanchenko for the IBF title. This shit is just a mess on the Vampire Stream. This shit is a mess, bro. This is looking ugly. Canelo's talking about fighting Kovalev. Listen, since they want Canelo to be the next, the Mexican Mayweather or whatever the fuck, when have you ever seen Floyd make these moves? Well, except for him playing basketball today. That shit looked crazy. He got his ankles broke. No, but I'm talking about in the boxing, in the square circle, where him and his team had to come up with Floyd's next move and next fight. You never seen it look so chaotic and distressed and, all crazy like this. Shout out to Southwest Philly. Shout out to my people in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to people with long beards, too. You see? We run the game now. The alpha males. We establish our dominance on the Vampire Stream. All you beta male fucks, sit the fuck back and enjoy the show for the Vampire Stream. Yeah, Floyd got his ankles broke, vicious. But I'm talking about in terms of business. When have you seen Floyd pick his opponent and it looks all crazy and he's so pressured to do this? And, it's always a cool, calm, collected. He announces it and it's a big fight. They trying to manifest this with Canelo and it's just not working. Shout out to Art Moore. He said, shout out to you, Ego, for being here. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. I want to wish everybody a prosperous second half of the 2019. We going to do this. We're going to have a fun, productive year. But it's just a bad look, bro. It just really is. The franchise champion made no sense. Everybody, there's authors writing about it. Fans is, talking about it. YouTube channels is talking about it. It doesn't make sense. It looks like a way to alleviate problems so Canelo don't have to face Charlo. Demetrius Andrade said he would step up and his team is. See, I'm telling you, Golden Boy and Canelo and Team Canelo, in my opinion, you guys see what's happening. Old media is getting pushed out. Oh, wow. Savage Minded said, hey, Ego, I lost my dad in October. Very sorry to hear that. But we all family here. So if you need anything, holla at us. They are just letting Canelo run rampant and do what he wants. The Vampire Stream. Listen, y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want. The bottom line is this. The walls are closing in. All the Zone, Golden Boy, Canelo, Triple G, this whole faction is a microscope. People are watching. People are seeing what the next move is. I'm telling you, what's happening, y'all don't see it. It's happening. And my uncle, the second, damn, sorry to hear that. He said, good looking on keeping my mind busy. Yeah, man, we got content all day. Sometimes we got to escape from life for a minute. Yeah, man, the old media is getting ushered out, and it's so glorious for us. It's glorious. I guess Canelo was all talk, wanted to be the first undisputed Mexican middleweight champion. Man, it is what it is. But old media, the old tricks that they used to do for old media, it no longer works. Nobody believes it. It don't make sense anymore. It doesn't sound viable. It doesn't sound believable. And you guys are getting to see it time and time again. And it's glorious for me. We work so hard to treat boxing with respect, get that truth out there, try to eradicate or at least expose the double standards in boxing so they could keep doing it, They can keep trying the double standard shit, but you gonna be on Front Street, so it don't matter to me. You know, if you content doing it. See, this is the thing. When it comes to bigotry and racist, the new age racists and bigots and biased people, the worst thing that they want is to be called what they truly are. You know, people want to be racist and have racist thought processes, but they don't want to be called a racist. They don't want the label, but they want to do everything that a racist would do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, with new media, we came in and changed that, especially in the lane of boxing. I'm not saying we change humanity and society, but in the game of boxing, you do have to speak and be held accountable for what you say. I have no problem with anybody taking what I say, using a direct quote of what I said, and bringing it up in any context, because I know what I say. I'm not out here just saying no foolish bonehead shit. I'm saying what I believe in. So I'm good. But these other motherfuckers be lying and shit like that. No, I'm up north, so the earthquakes didn't affect me. But, hope everyone's safe. They said there's going to be some more aftershocks and stuff like that. So I got a lot of friends and, people in California. So I just want everyone to be safe. But, yeah, man, old media they getting pushed out and they don't like it. Like all that dumb shit that they used to say, they used to be able to get away with it because there was nobody strong enough with enough of a voice saying the opposite and actually spreading the real gospel of what's going on in these boxing streets. But now y'all got that, y'all got me, Frank Castle, the Punisher. It was crazy. So, you could say whatever you want. People can get mad and all that dumb shit. But there's a lot of pressure, as far as I'm concerned, for Canelo to make a right decision, to put on a big fight. That's what DAZN. There's pressure from all angles. There's pressure from the fans. They're expecting, hey, I'm paying DAZN. I'm paying $100 a year. I'm paying $10 a month. I'm paying $20 a month. You got to provide what I'm paying for. So there's pressure that way. There's pressure just from fans who just want to see good fights and meaningful fights in boxing. There's pressure from DAZN for Canelo to put on a big fight. There's pressure for DAZN to, get out of the red and be successful with their business venture, DAZN. It's pressure on Triple G. It's pressure on old media. Just pressure. And I can't wait to see what unfolds. These are interesting times in boxing. But it's looking crazy right now. There's, to me, I don't know, it's like the zone's just like, this is just what it feels like. Feels like they're spitballing it, like just playing it by ear and like hoping to land on success. But from what I've seen, boxing, it's a team collaborative effort. It takes time. It takes an approach, a certain approach. It takes charisma. It takes, a little bit of timing. It takes planning for sure. And they're not executing in some of those fronts. Listen, in the last some odd weeks, we've heard about Canelo possibly fighting Caleb Smith, Triple G, Sergey Kovalev, Jaime Munguia. He's supposed to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko per the IBF or get stripped. You get what I'm saying? It's like, this is a lot of different shit, Then they mentioned Demetrius Andrade. People want to see him fight Charlo. And it's like there's no real direction from what I'm seeing. Doesn't seem like much of a direction. Seems like there's some kind of disconnect. Canelo I think is, this is just my opinion. I think DAZN wants Canelo Triple G. And I've been thinking that, They want that. They don't care about Canelo Andrade. They don't think it's that special of a fight, whatever. They want Canelo Triple G. Triple G is down to fight Canelo, it sounds like. He wants, the chance to avenge it, and he don't want to have to fight some of these other killers like Jamal Charlo or Demetrius Andrade. You get what I'm saying? So that's up his alley. Somebody he's already familiar with. He hurt before. He already had 24 rounds with. He ain't trying to fight somebody new or somebody like Jacobs who might be able to make some adjustments, maybe get bigger, maybe got bigger since that time, he want to fight Jaime Munguia, Steve Rolls, or Canelo. He's like, his whole life mission is Canelo now, and that's unfortunate when you see that in boxing. Shout out to Errol Spence, shout out to Deontay Wilder. Reason I'm giving him a shout out is because the whole world knows Errol Spence wanted Keith Thurman, but he didn't just stop and once he put the pressure on Keith Thurman to smoke him out, and the world seen, who was like kind of in the way of that fight happening, they're on the same side. Then he just kind of backed off. Occasionally he'll take jabs at Keith Thurman, but he's going on with his career. That's what I think fighters should do. Same thing with Deontay Wilder. The world knows Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. He did the same thing. He smoked him out. He proved what he needed to prove, seen that he was making an effort, willing to take short money and consolations, go to the UK. He was willing to make the fight. Eddie Hearn and Team Joshua and Barry Hearn weren't, period. So once that was done, he just continued going on about his career. Now it's funny, you don't even see Wilder even talking about Joshua too much. You don't really see that. For the Dominic Brazil fight week, I was there. He would talk about Joshua maybe if it was brought up, but he wasn't just calling him out and, he doing all that. He was just doing his own thing. Now, Triple G, that's something different. Triple G, he's like stalking Canelo. It's like he's been since 2015, 2016. That's like the only person he seems to want to fight. The division is deeper than just Canelo only. Of course, Canelo's a good fighter, but he's not the only one. Why doesn't Triple G fight Jermall Charlo, Andrade himself? It's like he just want to fight like fights where he should be heavily favored to win, or Canelo. He don't want to take no risk with no Charlo or Demetrius Andrade, or move up and fight a Caleb Smith. It's sad. So I don't know how they're going to fix this out. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this situation. But another situation out on top of Canelo, and the franchise shit that created and muddied the water and blurred the lines in the division, is now they're saying Canelo could get stripped of his IBF title. He just won it in May. He don't want to fight Derevyanchenko. DAZN might not even want that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because they might look at it like Jacobs, Canelo already beat Jacobs already beat Derevyanchenko, and it's not going to draw that many audience. DAZN has some real life questions they should be asking themselves right about now. And the funny thing is, this shit is like, it all comes full circle. It's like the Lion King, the circle of life and shit. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Here's what I mean by that. Is Triple G was it's like paying your taxes or something. Triple G was supposed to have already fought Derevyanchenko. Canelo failed a drug test last year in May with the clenbuterol shit. Canelo couldn't fight in May. He was scheduled to fight Golovkin in May. He couldn't fight because he failed a drug test and he was suspended, right? Triple G was like, hey, no, guys, I'm still fighting now. Triple G still wanted to fight. So IBF said, okay, Derevyanchenko's been waiting. That's a good fight. He's your mandatory. You're the champion. Fight him. Since you're not fighting Canelo, we was going to get out of the way for a big fight like Canelo Golovkin. Seeing how that's not happening, Canelo has failed a drug test. You need to fight your mandatory. Since you want to keep fighting on that particular date, he deserves his shot, because the whole world knows in September you're going to go after Golovkin again, or you're going to go after Canelo again. So Derevyanchenko's never going to get a shot. So this is the perfect opportunity for you in May to save the date, take a credible ranked name that we're forcing you to fight, or you're mandatory. And Triple G said, hey, no, guys, and fought Vanes Martirosyan. He fought a guy, he would rather fight Vanes Martirosyan, a 154-pounder at 160. So he moved him up. Vanes Martirosyan had 2.5-3 weeks to prepare, because it was, the timing, because no one expected Canelo to fail a drug test. And then they were trying to get Jaime Munguia and whoever else they were trying to get. So Vanes was a fighter moving up in weight. He moved from 154 to 160. He only had 2.5-3 weeks to prepare. He had been on the couch for 2+ years, and his last fight before that, when he was active, was a loss, and I was at the loss. It was in Vegas, I believe, at the Cosmopolitan. Both Charlos fought on the card. Charlo and John Jackson, Charlo and Austin Trout. Main event was Edeslani Lada and Vanes Martirosyan. See how my memory worked? So Triple G would rather fight a junior middleweight, 154-pounder, move him up, give him, because of the time crunch, instead of pushing the date back or something, give him very little time to prepare, and, not fight at a catch weight, not come down, not give him any type of leverage, instead of fighting Derevyanchenko, knowing he was going to try to fight Canelo in September. So the IBF, once he agreed that, okay, they said, fine, you couldn't cause Canelo fail on the drug test. That's not your fault. He failed on his own merit, but you got to fight Derevyanchenko after this Vanes bullshit, right? So he knocks out Vanes Martirosyan, wasted everybody's time. I went to that fight too. I was there at StubHub. Second round knockout. He destroyed Vanes after that. Then we haven't seen Vanes Martirosyan since Vanes is apologizing to Al Heyman, went after Don King and said he ruined my career, all this shit. We haven't seen Vanes since. It was a waste of time fight. And then Triple G had no intentions of fighting Derevyanchenko. So back to what I was saying, everything comes full circle. Now, since he didn't fight him then, Derevyanchenko's still ranked, and now he's still the guy. And if Canelo don't fight Derevyanchenko, Canelo's a star. He's making, millions of dollars. He making money. So from what it sounds like, Canelo don't want to fight Derevyanchenko either. He doesn't seem to gain. DAZN might not want to fight. So if he doesn't fight him, Canelo will get stripped. And then guess what? Derevyanchenko versus Gennady Golovkin is going to be ordered. So what is Triple G going to do? Is Triple G going to, avoid the same guy twice? This shit is a mess, bro. This is really, they really got themselves into a big ass mess. This shit is crazy. That's going to look crazy. So let's say Triple G in October fights Jaime Munguia. So he's supposed to be fighting Derevyanchenko again. If Canelo don't fight Derevyanchenko, Triple G again is supposed to fight Derevyanchenko for the vacant belt because they're going to strip Canelo. So if Triple G says, hey, no, guys, I'm fighting Jaime Munguia, then that means he's passing up on an opportunity at a belt to fight Jaime Munguia. This shit is crazy, bro. Do you know how bad... Listen, that's a bad name for boxing. That you have former champions who just got a win versus an unheralded Steve Rolls, and he's more willing to fight a 154-pounder again, Jaime Munguia, with no belt at... Jaime, I repeat, has no belt at 160. He has no fights at 160 unless he has some catchweight fights or some shit in Mexico. He don't have no elite level name fights at 160. He ain't fought Charlo, Andrade, nobody good. You know what I'm saying? So to my knowledge, he don't have no fights at the full 160, and he's not a champion. That's going to be horrible for DAZN and horrible for Triple G. So let me break this down again. Smash the like button. Canelo could get stripped if he does not fight Sergey Derevyanchenko. From what I understand, Canelo has no interest in fighting Derevyanchenko. His team hasn't met up. Have you heard Golden Boy mentioning fighting a fight with Derevyanchenko? Or have you heard Kovalev, Caleb Smith, all this other shit, right? So it seems like there's some truth to that. They don't feel like, Canelo's a superstar. Dangerous fight for what? With Derevyanchenko, they're not looking at him like that. So he's going to get stripped. He's going to look terrible if he lets the IBF strip him, because this is what Golovkin did. Okay, you getting stripped for not fighting the same guy, Sergey Derevyanchenko. So next up, per the rankings, would be Gennady Golovkin and Derevyanchenko. So Golovkin, if this happens, Golovkin will have the opportunity a second time in 2 years straight to fight the same guy. Now, if he opts not to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko for a now vacated title, for his old title, the IBF title, to fight on DAZN against Jaime Munguia or something, bro, that's going to look horrible. That's going to look horrible. I don't know who's pulling the strings. I don't know if DAZN cares. I don't know what, but that's gonna look terrible, bro. You would rather fight another 54 pounder than to fight for a title? Wow. That's what I'm saying. That gives boxing a bad name. People would rather get stripped of titles, and the other people, former champions, would rather fight, someone in a lower division who didn't even look good versus his last fight with Dennis Hogan. You know what I'm saying? And they would rather do that than to get your old belt back. I ain't never heard of no shit like this. So, again, this is just a little bit of forward thinking. That's what's going on. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know who decides what. Maybe they make Canelo Triple G. I don't know. I have no idea what they're trying to do right now. But these are the different scenarios, and these are the likelihoods if certain things don't happen. The expert genius. He said, Boxingego, yo, Canelo and his team missed a deadline on purpose. Yeah, he's talking about with the Derevyanchenko situation. He's going to vacate the IBF title before he gets stripped. They're not even going to let it go to purse bid. Yeah, that's possible. But it doesn't look it. Okay, this is a mess. I'm trying to tell you guys. So let me get this straight. Canelo just fought Jacobs. People gave him credit. It wasn't the most scintillating performance from either. Whatever. But immediately following that, you become the franchise champion to not have to fight Jermall Charlo. And then if you vacate or get stripped of the IBF title to not fight Sergey Derevyanchenko, who has deserved it, that's his position, then that's going to look horrible because you basically got stripped for 2 titles. This is a mess. This is crazy. Like I said, when have you ever seen Floyd look like this? And then, like I said, it affects Triple G too. Because if Canelo don't fight Derevyanchenko and he just vacates or gets stripped, then that's Canelo's business. He gonna look crazy for that. And then Triple G's gonna be next up in line to fight against Derevyanchenko. And if he avoids him again, then it's gonna look like shit. Why is Triple G willing to not fight against Derevyanchenko so bad? Especially if it'll be a title shot. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare for DAZN. This is why it's so quiet. Like, you don't hear shit. You don't know what the fuck is going on and all that. Because it's like they got to figure out who's doing what and all that. Look. Canelo's IBF belt in jeopardy over Derevyanchenko mandatory. Bad left hook. If Alvarez vacates, Derevyanchenko and Gennady Golovkin will most likely be ordered to fight for the vacant belt. See? Saying the same thing. I'm just putting it in perspective of what this actually means. ESPN reports that Canelo Alvarez missed his June 15th deadline with Derevyanchenko. Bro, this is terrible. And this is what boxing fans, they're trying to accept. This is bad, bro. Smash the like button. I'm trying to pull it up for you guys, for you good people. And then here's another reason. I'm going to get to it. All right, look. Smash the like button. Middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, prospect of collecting all 4 belts, is becoming the undisputed champion. Took a hit recently when the WBC stripped him and elevated him to its so-called franchise champion. And now the IBF belt is in jeopardy because he has missed the window to seek an exception to a mandatory defense he was ordered to face and make against Sergey Derevyanchenko of some kind of deal where due to be completed June 15th. But the camps haven't even talked. If Alvarez vacates or is stripped, Derevyanchenko would fight for the vacant title. The next leading contender in the IBF rankings is former champion Golovkin, who would be in the market for a fall foe if he doesn't meet Alvarez for the 3rd time. Wow. Oh, man. Hey, dude, this new media shit. I told you. This new media shit a killer. Hey, the dude said Canelo been putting in work. Stop hating. You see how they don't have nothing insightful to say? It's all stupid shit. No explanation. So you see how Dan Raphael. This what I'm telling you. Dan Raphael he just said the same thing I said. I'm just putting it in a deeper perspective and giving my opinion on it. He just said the same thing. They say something to me. They say, "Oh, ego, stop hating." So how am I a hater? And I'm telling you about the news. You see how this works? That's I told you, this is how you know old media is struggling. They looking crazy. They don't know what to do. There's not. Do you notice all they say? You're biased, you're hating, fuck you, your channel suck. That's it. There ain't no, hey, Canelo looks great in this situation. Here's why. These motherfuckers, I told you, I 48 laws of power, crush your enemies totally. They have no leg to stand on. They know what the fuck it is. They know I don't give a fuck who mad. They know what I'm saying. They know the prodigal son has returned in the stuff I'm saying. That's why they're telling you these blanket, generic ass, oh, stop hating on Canelo. You a fanboy. You a man fan. You don't give a fuck about boxing. You give a fuck about one fighter, and that's what it is. Canelo got to do something, baby. Hey, Triple G, you got to do something, man. They got to do something. It is what it is. Tell me how Canelo looks good if he gets if he vacates or gets stripped of a second title in the same calendar, in the same 3 months. How does this look? Name one fighter that would look good. That would look good if they got, okay, you didn't fight Jamal Charlo and you get elevated to this mythical franchise shit, right? And then you were supposed to, and see, this is the thing that didn't even make sense. It's like Canelo got all this money from DAZN and all that, and it's like his team forgot about the rules and stuff. Canelo had a window where he can apply for an exemption or an exception to not have to fight Derevyanchenko. You get what I'm saying? He had a window. Like Kell Brook was supposed to fight Errol Spence, but coming off the Golovkin shit, his orbital was broke. So he got a medical extension and exemption, so he didn't have to go straight into the, for a period of time. But, you have to have some kind of valid reason. Great work, Boxingego. You're right. The walls are closing in on Cinnamon and Triple Fraud. I told you, this shit is like clockwork. Shit is like clockwork. All we do is make the points, let the people get mad, agree, whatever the fuck. And when the dust settles, you see who says what and all that shit. This is a terrible look. The Boxingego, the IBF sent Canelo a letter 6 weeks ago after he beat Jacob stating, Daddy, he must, I don't know who Daddy is, that's weird, pause. Daddy, he must make a fight with Sergey next. He knew the IBF doesn't want him to face nobody but it's mandatory. Yeah, I don't know about no daddy shit, but yeah, shout out to you for your comments. You're leaving some good comments. The other thing is this: he could have gotten exemption, but he would have to explain what they're excusing him for. But he didn't even. He just let the date elapse. You get what I'm saying? It's just like having a ticket due and you don't go to the court to try to figure it out and get a payment plan. You just brush it off. So Canelo, I guess he's above the law like Steven Seagal. He's just doing whatever he wants. All right. This is a bad look. It's like they're not planning for nothing. Like, what is they do? What is you doing, baby? Like, and then now DAZN, bro, this is a mess. I don't know how y'all can't see it. So DAZN wants a fight that they feel is sellable because they need it. Canelo they were talking about, look, this shit is crazy, bro. They were talking about Canelo versus Andrade, Caleb Smith, Andrade, Andrade, Munguia, Caleb Smith, and Kovalev. The Kovalev shit, even the Triple G shit, for what you think is a big fight, you running out of time. You have 8.5 weeks before September 14th. You have basically eight weeks and change, 8 weeks and a couple of days before the actual fight day. And we don't even know who Canelo is fighting. No press conference set up. No, media email blast, and like press release. We don't have a venue. I'm assuming he fights at Timo. I don't know. This is a bad look, people. For someone as big, it's just for someone as big as Canelo. You would think that the T's would be crossed and the I's have been dotted. He knew he was fighting in September, before this year even started, because those are the two dates that he claims he wants to fight on. Anything else would be like if he fights in December or something. That's just additional. Man, this is terrible. Canelo's scared of Andrade and Jamal. Yeah, Floyd got sat down. Shit, nobody did that to him in boxing though, but in basketball they laced his shoes. I seen that. Broke his ankles. Man, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing for new media. I told you. Again, tell me how this is. I don't care if you're Canelo's number one fan. My question to you on the Vampire Stream is, tell me how this makes Canelo look good, star power and all. How this makes him look good. How this makes him look good. Basically getting stripped for not fighting Jamal Charlo because he had no intentions of fighting him. So they made up some position for him to soften the blow. This franchise champion thing. He's not fighting him. Andrade said he would fight him, but it doesn't look like he's going to fight Andrade unless they just do it. Because bro, this shit is so messed up. Y'all don't even understand the complexity. Smash the like button. Here's why the Andrade fight. One, Andrade's a dangerous fight for anybody, especially Canelo. Canelo has stamina issues. He's short, for that division, blah, blah, blah. But he's a dangerous foe for anybody. So, one, there's an element of danger. Canelo could lose stylistically to Andrade, right? So that's one issue. Two, with this franchise shit, it makes no sense. I'm talking about from the business perspective. Andrade is a killer. Andrade is a difficult style matchup for anybody at middleweight. So if you had intentions of fighting Andrade, why would you let them strip you of the WBC and appoint you this champion emeritus, franchise champion? Now you don't even have the full WBC belt. You have some mythical made up WBC. So that leads me to believe that he does not want to fight Andrade because you wouldn't allow for this franchise championship to take place. Because now you just confuse the division by adding an additional WBC title. So you can't be undisputed simply by beating Andrade. Versus if you, before this franchise announcement, you could have been undisputed by beating Andrade. So now it's confused. Because how the fuck is Canelo undisputed if he ain't never fought his mandatory and then he got out of fighting his mandatory by them creating an additional belt just for Canelo? This shit is horrible, bro. So even if Canelo fights Andrade, that's dope. It's a legacy fight. I think it's a challenging fight, but it's a dangerous fight. And it's a fight where he's not even going to be recognized as undisputed if he beats him because he still has Charlo problems. Now he has, with the introduction to the franchise belt, I don't care what nobody says, Canelo has to beat not only Andrade, but Charlo to be recognized as the true undisputed champion. Put it this way. Let's say they made Wilder a WBC franchise champion and they made Dillian White they gave Dillian White Wilder's old belt. So he was the full WBC champion. And then Anthony Joshua, let's say he never fought Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua had all the other belts. The whole world wanted to see Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder. But then the WBC makes and elevates Wilder to this franchise belt, makes it up just for Wilder. Then they make Dillian White the WBC champion. And then AJ fights and beats Dillian White a second time, knocks him out. Are you going to say that Anthony Joshua is the undisputed champion of the world? That makes no sense. The whole world's been wanting to see Wilder versus Joshua. So they create another belt for Dillian White and then bump up Wilder. And then we're supposed to just forget that Joshua never fought Wilder? Hell no. Would you guys accept that? That's my question to you. If Wilder got made into a franchise champion and then they made Dillian White the regular WBC champion and then Joshua fought White a second time when he was undefeated and knocked him out, would you say Anthony Joshua is the number one undisputed heavyweight in the world without ever having faced Wilder? Who would say that? Exactly. No and hell no. Shout out to my dude Cursor. That's bullshit. You can't. How you gonna be? You didn't even fight the main motherfucker we wanted to see you fight. So how you gonna be the undisputed because they created some, legacy, lifetime achievement award belt for you? No, that's not how that works. So once again, if Canelo ever wants to be undisputed, like he said, he has to fight Andrade and he has to fight Charlo. You can't just. So if that's the case, then everybody could just sidestep the opponent they don't want to fight and then just have the creation of another belt. Do you get what I'm saying? So let me think of a situation. So let's say hypothetically, because we know this ain't true. Let's say Terrence Crawford was afraid of Julius Ndongo, right? And he didn't want to fight him. So they just made 2 more belts for Ryan Blue Chip Martin, and then Terrence Crawford beat him for these fake ass belts that they just made up, and then we just say, oh, Terrence Crawford's undisputed. Man, hell no. There's no way you can not fight the person. See, this is the politics bullshit. There's no way you can't fight the main motherfucker we wanted to see you fight, who is a champion or who is your mandatory. And just because they created another belt in a escape route, we're gonna recognize you as undisputed. That's not how that works. So this whole thing is a mess. You guys can say whatever you want. Canelo already got stripped basically for not fighting Charlo, and had no intentions of fighting Charlo, his mandatory. Now, if he gets rid of the IBF belt, and see, this is, you can say whatever you want, but tell me I'm lying. Canelo makes easy work out of Charlo. Hope he fights him already so he can shut all the fanboys up. Block this motherfucker. Luis Avia. Look at the names, faces, and profile pics of the people doing the most hate. We don't care about your opinion on the fight. We want to see everyone in boxing push for the fight. And listen, the thing is this. If Canelo makes short work of Charlo, listen, I'm not even saying it's not possible. I'm saying show me. That's this what don't these dudes keep talking about fanboys and sucking dick and all types of shit. What part of show me do you not understand? If you are as confident as you say you are, why are you not pushing for these things to happen? If Canelo's team is as confident as you motherfuckers in the comment section, then why was the franchise belt created? Why didn't he just go after Charlo, chop him up, easy work, like you guys are saying, and then we wouldn't even be talking about this? He would have went in there, done what you said in the comment section, destroyed Charlo, and then rode off into the sunset. These dudes sound like delusional, like seriously deluded. They're trying to minimize the threat level of Charlo, and it makes them feel better. It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic to just say the shit. If it was that simple, then why wouldn't they just do that and fight him? And there's no need for a franchise belt. Just like Eddie Murphy said in Golden Child, and nobody will have to be destroyed just like that. And nobody will have to be the franchise champion just like that. It makes zero sense to have that level of confidence but not fight that person. And then create this whole new world and avenue of franchise champion and shit to not fight him when you could have easily dispatched of that person. Makes no sense. Why would you go through this like roundabout if this person was as weak and feeble and meek as you say, then destroy them. That's what we want to see. We don't want to hear you talk about it. We don't give a fuck about who. We don't even know who these dudes are. We don't care about your fight prediction. See, people care about my fight prediction because I've been doing this for years. So they know the ones I got right. They know what I got wrong. They know where the information is coming from. We don't know you motherfuckers. These dudes are never regulars in the comment section, so we don't know you for anything. You just coming with a random opinion. We don't care about that, especially if you haven't built any stature in this community. If you ain't been, like a regular, we see your name pop up. LJ, we got women that be in these chats more than y'all. These dudes just come out of nowhere. Luis Avia, who the fuck is this? You guys know the routine regulars that be in my chats. So it's over. Nobody believes that. We don't care. And the funny thing is, these dudes, fear. These dudes are so afraid of what I'm saying, and they so afraid of the truth that they want to turn it into some other shit. Like, oh yeah, you're fucking da-da-da, you're in love with the Charlo. It had nothing to do with that. I'm in love with the sport of boxing. Show me this is a good fight. I'm not even making a fight prediction, and they all in their feelings. I never said Canelo gets blown out by Charlo. I never said what happened. I'm talking about let's fucking see it. They got to negotiate. We got to get to step one before fight predictions and all that. These dudes want the, what's it, the horse before the carriage? You know what I'm saying? Like, they rather talk about the fight prediction before the negotiations. We just trying to get to the negotiations and get the fight across the line and signed on the dotted line. And then we could talk about all that once it's a done deal. And then because now there's an end result. Now we can see who's lying, and because we're like, all right, a couple more months, 9 weeks, we gonna find out. They want to talk about it because it's not a thing. I've studied old media for years. I know how this game works. Smash the like button. They want to talk about it because it's not real. So we want end results. That's what new media, we want receipts and end results. I don't want to talk about Charlo Canelo if they not finna fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't like in terms of fight predictions. What do I want to give a fight prediction and then motherfucker never fight him? Because things can change over time. I'll give you a fight prediction if they agree to fight for September 14th. But if we don't have that, then why would you instead of pushing for the fight, which is the first step to make it a fight, why would you give a fight prediction before that? You get what I'm saying? They rather give the fight prediction before the negotiation, which makes no sense. That tells me they scared. Beta male shit. They care more about the fight prediction. I don't care about the fight prediction until we see the fight. Show me signs that you going after Charlo. We don't even have that. Randy Ridley, $2 super chat. Wilder's the face of boxing and the real franchise champion. Facts. Bro, this is looking messy. It's looking messy. So, once again, if you disagree with anything I'm saying, tell me how Canelo looks good when he didn't fight Charlo and they had to create another division or like more division in the division by creating this franchise title, so he had no mandatories. So basically, he skipped out on fighting Charlo. And then it sounds like he doesn't want to fight Derevyanchenko, so he's going to lose another belt if he don't fight Derevyanchenko because he already missed his deadline. Here's the other thing. That makes it look bad. Me, I'm a fucking male. I'm an alpha male, a man, whatever you want to call it. I know what's in between my legs. At the end of the day, a man, in my opinion, should be congruent with what he says. Case in point, I'm not saying Canelo's not a man. Take it how you want. I'm just saying Canelo told us being boxing fans, he wanted to go after Undisputed this year. He wanted to become the first Mexican middleweight champion ever. These actions aren't supporting what you said. These don't support that because you allowed this franchise championship and win along with it because you're in on it. You might get stripped over the IBF unless some more boxing politics and magic comes out. Right? So, how can I believe with what you said when you wanted to become undisputed but your actions, just like Gennady Golovkin, are showing that you don't really want to be undisputed. This is literally the same thing that Golovkin did. Golovkin said that, hey, no, guys, give me my belts, all the belts, but he didn't fight. He could have fought Billy Joe Saunders, but he started chasing Canelo, who didn't have a belt. How you want all the belts, but Billy Joe Saunders got to a point where he started calling you out. And then you were still chasing Canelo, who just got to the division and fought Chavez Jr., and he had no belts. These dudes, it's looking bad because what they say is not consistent with what they're doing. They keep saying, Golovkin did it too. He said, oh, I had all my belts. Give me my belts. I'm after Bernard Hopkins and Undisputed. No, you're not, because you wouldn't have been chasing beltless Canelo instead of fighting Billy Joe Saunders. Sad. Same thing with Canelo. You said you wanted to be undisputed this year, but the actions are clearly, just like ESPN said, is pushing you farther away from that reality. Franchise champion, and if you let the IBF strip you. So how can you say that? What's the point of even saying that? What's the point of saying you want to be undisputed when you really don't? Sounds good, but your actions gotta show forth, And this is what they do to black fighters, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it's what I see. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, so far, so good. They're about what they say they're about. Should that change? Then we'll talk about that. But right now, they are doing. Errol Spence about to fight Sean Porter. He said he'll fight Pacquiao Thurman winner. So far, so fucking good. And don't get credit for it. Errol Spence, name a situation where Errol Spence in his division at 147 is doing what Canelo is doing. Errol said, oh yeah, I want to be the man down. He said this, but his actions are actually supporting this. He's going after and seeking after the best challenges that give him the most recognition. And motherfuckers won't, because he's a black fighter, a lot of these motherfuckers won't give him credit for it. Canelo's not staying consistent with what he said. Canelo said he wants the best fight. He said he wants undisputed, but his actions don't want that. Errol Spence is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Deontay Wilder. We know Wilder is about what he said. He said, I'm about to clean up my work with Luis Ortiz. Then I'm fighting I'm fighting Tyson Fury. I could fight Andy Ruiz. He's about what he says he's about. The shit he says he's going after, he's showing you he's going. He was going after Joshua. He showed you that he said, I'm going to smoke him out. I promise you. And the baptism and manifestation have started. And he did that. So I think, DAZN, they keep trying to, make foreign fighters the figurehead of boxing, which is cool. There's a lot of great foreign fighters, but there's a lot of American fighters that's out here really doing what they say they're trying to do. I have no doubt in my mind Devin Haney would fight Luke Campbell for that title. He said he told me earlier in January he wanted to fight Lomachenko. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about if it was up to Devin Haney, who thinks that Devin Haney wouldn't want to fight either one of them? Wouldn't fight Ryan Garcia. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about if it could just get done easily and there were no politics. Devin Haney about that life. So I'm just, new media. We got to start celebrating the real shit in boxing because there's a lot of people who are out there like Teofimo. He's another one. Teofimo, I really think he wants to fight Lomachenko. It don't seem like an act. It seems like he's perfectly confident and he's about what he says he's about. Caleb Plant. All these motherfuckers. There's a lot. Look at how many Americans, like, they bout what they say the fuck they bout. Caleb Plant, you don't think he wants to fight the best? He's showing you. He's sounding convincing. He's like, oh yeah, Mike Lee finna have to kill me in there. Shakur Stevenson, that's what I'm saying. Like, and once again, DAZN, aka HBO 2.0, they keep going against the formula, an already established formula. And they're trying to do just what HBO messed up in. They're doing exactly what HBO messed up. They want to put everybody but us as the number one person in boxing. They want to have sell out American venues, cater to American fans and sell to American fans and have American fans buy merchandise and tickets and click on these interviews and shit. But they don't want to appease the Americans. They don't want to uplift the American fighters, especially black American fighters. Looking shaky, though. Anthony Kyle, block him. He's talking about Mikey kills both. Anybody that talking about Mikey kills and murders or this person's going to kill and murder, get them out of here. You're already too much. Mikey don't even know what division he wants to fight in. So why are you talking about him killing somebody in a division we don't even know where he's going? We don't even know if he can make lightweight. We don't know how he's going to look off the Errol Spence domination. Get these motherfuckers out of here. These radical bozos. Death Row East. I told you we were going to clean up boxing. Yeah, man, he got clapped on. So we'll see. We'll see what's decided. But in my honest opinion, this is a bad look for Canelo. It's a bad look because what you said, and this is the thing, they try to somehow get mad at me, which is hilarious. Canelo said he wanted to be undisputed. Those are his words this year. So how you want to be undisputed? You letting them take 2 of your belts? Simple question, eh? Please explain that. I want to be undisputed, but the WBC and IBF, if he lets the IBF take him his belt, that's bad. That's a bad look. It just doesn't make sense. Make sure y'all smash the like button. We out here. Yeah, man. And then, like I said, it's all a ripple effect from this point on. Canelo's move is going to be pertinent to Golovkin. Block Pablo Juan Gucci. Look at the names, faces, and profile pics of the people doing the most hating. You see how it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo? There's never an explanation to anything that we're saying. There is never a direct, yo, you're wrong. The IBF will not strip him, blah, blah, blah. It's all speculative, dumb shit. Charlo will get his ass kicked. Andre's no match for Canelo. You guys are fanboys. It's funny that you guys say this in the comment section, these man fans. They say we the fanboys for wanting to see the fight, but they're not the fanboys for no negotiations for those actual fights, not pushing for those actual fights, and making fight predictions on some shit that does not look likely to happen next. But I'm the fanboy, but you're the fanboy. This shit is old media looking crazy. They looking desperate, and y'all know it. I'm a fanboy for merely wanting to see Canelo, Charlo, Canelo, Andrade, but you're not a fanboy for knowing damn well there's no reports that suggest Canelo will fight Jermall Charlo or Andrade next, and you're making fight predictions about how Charlo and Andrade will get destroyed and murdered and killed and, sent back to the hood and slums and all this stupid shit. And there's no indication that he's going to fight him, which is what I said, is fear. They rather say it because they know it's not a reality. They know Canelo is likely not fighting against Jermall Charlo next. He's likely not fighting against Demetrius Andrade next. I told you, if at any point on this channel, if I am wrong, let's say Canelo says I was born ready, and he says he's fighting Andre next or Charlo next, then I would be like, that's it. That stops the bleeding. I would be like, okay, didn't think it was gonna happen, but Canelo decided to fight Andre. Bravo. These dudes rather talk about it than actually see it. We don't want to talk about it. We want to actually see it. You guys have to smash the like button. We need to be over 100. We should have been over 100 likes for the vampire stream. That's what I'm saying. It's easy to talk about if it's never going to happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't see me like on here saying like, hey man, when I see Deontay Wilder, I'm gonna slap the fuck out of him. Stupid ass Wilder. I'm gonna slap the braids out his head. Because I know I'm gonna run into Wilder. And I have to be that same person. I gotta be that same person that said all this shit about him. You get what I'm saying? But if you just live on the internet and you don't put yourself in those positions, you could say whatever the fuck you want. You could be like, man, I'll body slam Wilder, I'll do this, man, I was finna. Yeah, you could say that from the comfort of your home, from an IP address, but you don't go to the fight. All these motherfuckers that be saying this crazy shit about Wilder and shit, I've been around the dude. I never see them. I never see a fan just pop out like, oh, you bitch ass motherfucker, chicken legs, eat some watermelon, nigga. I never seen that. Every time I've been around Wilder, I ain't never seen that. So that tells you what you need to know. It's easy to say something. Same thing with Canelo and Andrade and Charlo. If the fight never happens, which is what they want, then it's easy to say they get destroyed and killed and they're no match for King Canelo and all this stupid shit. Because they don't want to see it. They aren't going to do anything to promote and advocate and push for the fight. You think these motherfuckers is sending Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya on their social media letters talking about, man, please make that Canelo. Please make Canelo Andre. Please make Canelo Charlo. They ain't doing that. The reason they ain't doing it because they don't want to see it. And that's been proven. You ain't never heard me say, they say like, oh, you fucking love Errol Spence. I think he's a good fighter. You get what I'm saying? I ain't never said I don't want to see Errol Spence versus Pacquiao, Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, Errol Spence versus Sean Porter, Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. But they say I'm the man fan. I'm swinging from Errol Spence nuts and all this goofy shit. They say I'm swinging from Deontay Wilder nuts. Okay. You ain't never heard me say don't fight Tyson Fury. Don't fight Luis Ortiz. Don't fight Anthony Joshua. You ain't never heard me say that. So it shows you more about them than it does us. It shows you what we about on this side, the real side, new media. They keep coming up with front. They keep having these radical predictions about how Canelo will knock out everybody, and he ain't even knocked out nobody recently, except for Rocky Fielding. Out of all the names he could have knocked out, you knocked out the guy that was clearly the most trash. Right? You didn't knock out Golovkin, never knocked him down, and Golovkin has no defense. He does have a chin, though. You didn't knock him down in 24 rounds. You didn't knock Julio Cesar Chavez down, Jr., who got no defense. You didn't knock Jacobs down, who's been knocked down and been knocked out. Golovkin knocked him down, Dimitri Perot knocked him out. Sergio Mora knocked him down. Damn, Sergio Mora knocked down Jacobs, but Canelo didn't. But that's their comfort zone. They want to just say this shit. Sergio Mora holds a knockdown for whatever reason. You can say it's a flash because he got reckless, but whatever. Sergio Mora holds a knockdown over Jacobs, and Canelo didn't get that. It is what it is. So, in true new media fashion, we just sit back, enjoy life, see what manifests. I ain't pressed about it. I'm enjoying life. Nah, I'm rocking with Ruiz. This motherfucker Joshua is training and he don't even know when he's fighting and shit. We got a game. No, I don't got a game. I act. So, all eyes on Canelo Triple G DAZN. We got to see what they decide to do, but it's not looking good. Let me break it down. Smash the like button. I'm going to break it down for the people who just joined. Y'all got to get the likes up. Let me see where we at. All right, we 6 likes away from 100. Boost that. We need to be over 100. We're not that bad. All right. If you're just joining, I'm going to break it down real quick for the people who came late. You know, I'm going to pull it up too. Y'all like that. Y'all like that. When I take that. Bad boy, take that. I'll pull it up, y'all. I'm going to show y'all. I'm not going over it again, so if people come after that, then see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Okay. You guys see that, right? Middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, prospect of collecting all 4 belts to become undisputed champ, took a hit recently when the WBC stripped him and elevated him to the so-called franchise champion. Now the IBF belt is in jeopardy because he has missed the window to seek an exception in his mandatory defense he was ordered to make against Sergey Derevyanchenko. Right? It said negotiations or some kind of deal were due to be completed on June 15th, but the camps haven't even talked. If Alvarez vacates or is stripped, then Sergey Derevyanchenko would fight for a vacant title. The next leading contender in the IBF rankings is former champ Gennady Golovkin, who would be the leading contender, and he'd be in the market for a fall foe if he doesn't meet Alvarez for the 3rd time. Horrible. So basically, they're saying Canelo don't want to fight Golovkin. Right? So if Canelo don't fight Golovkin, then he's supposed to fight Derevyanchenko unless some boxing politic magic happens. But he's supposed to fight Derevyanchenko. If he doesn't agree to fight Derevyanchenko next, they're saying he could be stripped. So it's in jeopardy. If he gets stripped, the belt now becomes open and vacant. And the highest ranked people with the IBF in that division are Derevyanchenko and Gennady Golovkin. So Golovkin will have a chance at it. So this is going to be treacherous, you know, because if Canelo doesn't fight Golovkin and he doesn't fight Derevyanchenko, then he'll get stripped, most likely. Then if he gets stripped, the belt becomes open, and then Golovkin and Derevyanchenko will have a chance at a belt, just like Danny Jacobs and Derevyanchenko fought for the vacant belt when Golovkin got stripped. So this is just a mess. Now, if Golovkin doesn't fight Derevyanchenko, that'll be his 2nd time in 2 years not fighting, and he would be bypassing a title shot at his division that he's been fighting at, his old belt, to fight like a Jaime Munguia who don't even fight at 160 and has no belt at 160. Man, it's looking nasty. I can't wait to see what happens. You know, on that note, I'm out. New media. You know, I got to keep these videos concise and to the point. I've said everything I needed to say. I cannot wait to see what is decided. Now, I don't know what the IBF's view is if Canelo is going to fight Gennady Golovkin. I don't know if they're willing to not make Canelo fight his mandatory Derevyanchenko. I don't know the agreement there. But it sounds like he missed his window of opportunity where he could have filed on June 15th and said, hey, I want an exception to fight Golovkin. He just bypassed it and didn't talk to Derevyanchenko's team and didn't reach out to the IBF and tell them what was going on. So he might get stripped. So even if Canelo versus Golovkin fight, there's a chance he could get stripped anyway. This is ugly. And guess what? If I'm not mistaken, Derevchenko's an Al Heyman fighter. He's with Lou DiBella, you know. He's with Lou DiBella. So you're gonna have the belt go to Derevchenko and whoever else. I don't know who's behind Golovkin, you know, somebody else. So you're gonna have potentially Derevchenko fight for a vacant belt against someone else, and they might be able to put it on PBC depending on who the next highest rated person is. These dudes messed it all up. Nah, I ain't doing 30 more minutes, man. Fuck that. I already made my point. My point. We gotta let that shit ride and let that marinate. I've said everything I need. The walls are closing in. Same thing for DAZN. They gotta make a good fight. And the funny thing is, in boxing, you don't have to do so much. You don't have to go against the grain. You don't have to make these crazy circus fights. Nobody wanted to see Kell Brook versus Triple G, except for the man fans. Nobody was really we wanted to see Kell Brook versus Keith Thurman, Kell Brook versus Pacquiao. You know, some people maybe want Kell Brook versus Floyd, Tim Bradley, stuff like that. He didn't have to go to 160. That's not what we was asking her. Icy the one, Ego read us a bedtime story. Hey, you tripping. Shout out to Icy. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to see Canelo go to 175. You don't have to do all that. There's talent in the divisions. You're a champion, 160 and 168. But again, the bad look for Canelo is he said himself he wanted to be undisputed. So what's changed? Why would you let the WBC? They had to, the business had to continue, and they couldn't. They didn't have no more excuses or reasons why they could hold Jermall Charlo off. They tried to pawn him off on Triple G. He wasn't trying to fight him either. So they had to come up to some solution. So he basically got stripped by the WBC and made this imaginary franchise champion. And now he's running the risk of getting stripped from the IBF. What's the point of collecting all these belts and fighting tough fights if you're going to let them strip you of all the belts and not get to undisputed? It just doesn't make sense. But, hey, it is what it is. Can't wait to see what's decided. Make sure you guys smash the like button. We definitely working the Vampire Stream. I'm out just like that.